Christ was perfect, but my question is, why does the Bible depict God's perfect as being superior to Christ's perfect?
So this question is just based off an assumption that I don't grant, and nor would any Christian grant. And the assumption is that the Bible depicts God's perfectness as being higher than Christ's perfectness. No one is going to accept that as true. And furthermore, and most importantly, I don't think the scriptures teach that, and you would have to demonstrate that from the scriptures.
And if they are God in three persons, why didn't Christ have the same knowing that God did?
Well, the reason is because he became a human being, and when God became man, he limited himself.
And better yet, why didn't the God of the Old Testament know that he was going to become the God of the New Testament and have a change of heart and realize he needs to send his son to die, like there wasn't another way through love or something like peace, I don't fucking know, to get his people back to him, instead of just smiting people for century after century?
Okay, let me unpack why this is so problematic. So first and foremost, this notion is a little bit anti-Semitic because what it does is depict the Jewish God as bad and the Christian God as good. And this dichotomy is not accurate according to the New Testament, and I would definitely argue the Old Testament as well, and these are the reasons as to why. Firstly, the Old Testament God is most certainly loving and merciful and kind, and there are multiple demonstrations of that all throughout the Old Testament, and I would point you to Isaiah 61, among other places, for a demonstration of that. Secondly, Jesus Christ can be pretty wrathful, and we see that in the book of Jude. We see that in Revelation 9, when Revelation 9 connects itself to Isaiah 64:3, indicating that Jesus Christ is the divine warrior. The third point to make is that Jesus is the God of the Old Testament, and this is taught in several scriptures all throughout the New Testament text. The fourth and final point to make is that the events that happen in the New Testament are predicted in the Old Testament. So it is quite clear that the God of the Old Testament knew that the events of the New Testament were going to occur and prophesied of them. This is why you have Jesus quoting Psalm 22 on the cross. My God, why have you forsaken me? He's quoting Psalm 22 as applying to him. And there are many other scriptures that are quoted as having applied to Jesus, like Psalm 40, Psalm 110, Isaiah 53, and numerous others.